to face in this trashy bar. Another glass and I am going places. Makes me laugh about the irony of everything. I like the way you're thinking. I don't really care about the music on the dance floor. I don't really mind all the smoke is in the bathroom. I don't care at all, baby. You got my attention. So you were saying, oh no, I don't see the logic.
Hello there, my name is Puja Lucky. Welcome to yet another photography journey with me in beautiful Tampere in Finland. Now today I'm here somewhere very special. This is a beautiful location where you can see the landscape of the beautiful city of Tampere and the famous tower that I've posted many photos of on my Instagram channel, Puja Lucky. And we are going to take some photos with my bazooka of a lens, the Sigma 150 to 600 millimeter. The problem is there are so many flies here. I forgot to put my bug spray and I think I'm gonna get conquered today. Hopefully I will survive this, but let's go and see the scenery. Is this amazing or what? Oh, such beautiful landscape over there. It's a beautiful sun. In front of me, millions of bugs literally everywhere biting me. But it's just so much worth it. I'm gonna get some beautiful silhouette pictures today. The idea is the sun is setting from that location over there. So as I try to take photos, what's going to happen is it's going to basically ruin the entire shot. So if I want to take some beautiful photos of the birds, I think I have to come really early at sunrise. So I will do that at a later time, but today I'm going to take some beautiful silhouette of the amazing city of Tampere to share it with you guys. So the lens is out, we have the lens hood on, which I think in this form of situation when the light is coming straight ahead, it's really not going to do anything for you at this point. But you have a beautiful scene over there. I just brought this lens today because this was my focus. I really want to get to know this lens. I love it. It's just really sharp for the price that you pay. I think I paid 1,300 euros for it. In Finland it's a little bit more expensive. This is the contemporary version. There's another one, sport version, which seemingly has, I think, faster autofocus or something. I really didn't need to go that far. This is perfect. Oh yes, I bet you not a lot of people can get to see the beauty. You really need to have a super zoom lens like this, 600 millimeters. This scene is absolutely surreal. The sun is right away over there. You have the beautiful Iidesjärven observation tower, and let's see how we can frame this a little bit differently than what you can get with a mobile device or wide shots. So you're going to see the reasons why you need a lens like this if you have beautiful landscape that's really far away from you. Oh yes, you get a shot that's exactly like a poster. I don't know how to explain that. See that for yourself and you're just gonna fall in love with it. It's so amazing. The bugs are killing me. I am literally getting killed here, but this is their territory. I'm in their territory, so I respect it and I accept it. Hopefully next time I'm gonna remember my bug spray. So here's a little bit of things about my settings that I'm using. In these kind of conditions, I'm using ISO 100. You want the lowest ISO possible, and my f-stop is at f10, so basically halfway through open, and I'm shooting around 1/25,000th of a second, so pretty fast shutter speed because you have a lot of light over there. Gives you beautiful silhouette from the cityscape over there, and you're going to just love it. I really don't know how to tell you. Photography is more than a hobby. Photography is meditation for me. Photography recharges me. Photography gives me more energy. Photography makes me love every inch of this earth that we are in. And being able to capture beautiful moments is just the icing on the cake. Now, as the sun is going down and I'm losing light, so it's becoming a little bit dimmer. Of course, it's still super bright, so I can actually adjust my f-stop at this point, or my ISO if I want to do it. But since my ISO is at 100, I really don't want to change that. I want to keep kind of like same shutter speed as earlier, but you can adjust basically the iris or the f-stop or the opening of your lens, and well, you're just playing with the amount of light that comes in. So try to adjust one setting at a time when you want to take a shot like this and see how it goes for you. Again, when you have a shot like this, you can have some beautiful images if you have something in the foreground. So let me show you. Right over there you see a little bit of the bush formation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put those bushes in the front. So the thing is, when you have a sun like this, it really limits your options. So if I, for example, want to put a little bit of this bush formation in front of me in the foreground so that I have a frame, basically it's gonna turn out as dark as it can be, because while the human eye can actually see, even without shades, I can see perfectly the green, I can see all the bushes here, I can see all the bugs, I can see everything. I look at the sun, I see the sun, I look at here, I have the shadows basically. So that's something that mobiles are really good at. When you take a shot with your mobile device, what it does is it actually takes multiple exposures and it blends them. That's why it's much easier to take a shot with the mobile, but then again, you don't get the same quality as this. So I'm gonna take a shot with my Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, which is a really good phone, but not the most recent one. So I'm gonna take a super wide shot and let's see how that turns out. So compared to this one, where all the shadows are completely dead, this one is actually a little bit different. You can see the shadows, you can see the highlights, you can see everything, because as I said, they have different processing techniques. They take a little bit of a processing power, but they do a pretty good job actually. And let me show you the zoom level compared to the Sigma lens that I'm using, and this is the 10x, just so you can see what the difference is between a really specialized equipment like the Sigma 150-600 and the R6 and a mobile device. As the Finns say, reilu peli, or fair game. Tripod is here, and I'm gonna take one of those beautiful vertical panoramas that I really love. As always, safety first. Put the harness on my neck again. Now when you want to take shots like this, you want to make sure that the tripod base, or the whatever it's called, the plates, the connector, it's actually connected on your lens. It's mounted on your lens. So you have this thing on these big lenses usually. It's called the collar, and the idea is you set this on the tripod, because if you set your camera on the tripod, it might actually tilt it and damage this part here. The beautiful thing about the collar is that you don't have to adjust your tripod anymore. You can basically loosen it from here, and you can go instantly from landscape mode to portrait mode. Now, if you want to take landscape shots, I highly recommend you do manual exposure, manual everything, manual focus, because the idea is that it will hunt for focus in the shadows, in the darks, in different locations, and then you end up kind of like wasting your time constantly wanting to get that perfect focus, and then you end up with maybe some blurry shot. And when you're taking vertical panoramas, one of them out of focus, your entire shot is gone. So make sure you put that on manual focus, or MF in this case. And I'm gonna pan from the farmost left. This is at 150 millimeters. I usually take them around 50 millimeter with my other lens, the RF24 105, but with this one, the widest, wide 150 millimeters is the widest it goes. So the focus ring is usually located anywhere on your body. So the tiny piece here is the focus ring. This is actually quite nice to grip. Of course, you can go even a step further and do focus bracketing and at the same time multiple vertical shots, but I don't feel like doing that. It's a lot of work. I haven't had any experience yet. I just know that theoretically it should be possible. I will try that a little bit later in my future content. So first I'm overexposing so that I can basically see everything. I can see the highlights, I can see the shadows. If I want to take it at lower exposure, as you can see, it completely disappears. So what we want to do is go a little bit overexposed so that we can see what the hell we're shooting. And this is the kind of like the final shot that we are going to get. So well, it's not too bad. So this is the horizon line that we're keeping. So we have a little bit of the sky here on top, a little bit on the lower side. As I said, framing and composition is really important. Small tiny details, such as if your kind of like camera is tilted this way, can ruin a beautiful shot. You can fix it in post, but the idea is to get it as perfect as possible in the actual location, so that later on you can easily edit things out. Paying attention to horizon line again. Okay, so we have that set. So I want the focus to be so that Iidesjärven, the tower over there, is perfectly in focus. Use your magnifier to zoom in a little bit, but to get the idea, look at that, look at the difference that it makes. So this is the subject that I want to zoom in to so that I can focus. Perfect. We have this beautiful, perfect, look at that. So let it settle a little bit, because at 600 millimeter, the tiniest movement, look at that, I'm touching, literally just touching the camera a little bit. Look at that, look at the amount of, it shakes it like so violently. So once you set up your horizon and you set up your frame and you set up your focus, then you start taking photos. So basically move it to the far left side that you want. You can always not use those shots, so but I take as many as I can because it just helps at the end. One more time, your exposure also, make sure that you get what you want. So that already looks magnificent without anything. And of course you want to make sure, as I always say, to take your photos raw. You can take raw and JPEG if you want it. I never use JPEG, so I just have a lot of photos that way. I already take a lot of shots because I have to make sure that I select the best ones at the end when I'm editing. So I take them raw because raw means, well, you can edit them later to a much finer detail. So if you open up the shadows, for example, you get this beautiful detail in it that you would otherwise not in JPEG, because JPEG is compressed, hence the file size is actually smaller. And I think the raw file of this is about 20 megapixels, so it's about 20 megabytes. So now over there it's actually nothing, it's mostly trees, so I stop at this point and let me just go over the shots. It looks quite beautiful, and this way when you recompose it and put it together, so if you have like, let's say 10 of them, then instead of a 20 megapixel file you have a 200 megapixel file, and because it's 150 millimeters you can actually zoom into the detail and see, oh my god, you have so much detail. Now the bugs are really annoying, so I have to leave soon. If you enjoyed this episode, if you learned something, please feel free to share it with others who you might feel they would use it as well. I really would love to answer all your questions. If you have any questions regarding photography, regarding filming and all sort of stuff, please feel free to write it on my comments, and I will try to reply as soon as possible. And I hope you like this episode. Make sure to like and subscribe. Well, if you like to. If you don't, then don't like and subscribe. From beautiful Tampere and an amazing summer evening, I wish you all the best. Until the next episode, Puja Lucky out.